Hello, welcome back to Write It, a tween fiction writing workshop, the virtual edition. This is video 2 of 3. I am your host, Lisa. I am a youth librarian at the Westerville Public Library. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, video 1, please do so first, or this one won't make a whole lot of sense. So we are going to review what we did in the last session, the first video, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to do in this session. So we talked about what a fiction story actually is. Do you remember? That's right. A fiction story is made up. It's not true. Completely make-believe. That said, we are working on realistic fiction, which means that it could actually happen, even though it's not actually happening. So it's real enough that it seems like it could be true. Do you remember what makes a good story? A good author writes about what they know. So they're not completely making up any type of facts or any type of situations. It's something that they've experienced, and that makes our stories believable. And a good story also has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So don't leave you hanging, and any kind of problems in the story get solved. So it's not frustrating to read. We took a look at the writing process, our 5 parts, and we're going to continue working on through this whole video. We did some brainstorming. We did the pre-writing, the very beginning, and I hope you finished that and you had some great ideas. I'm sure you did. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take that pre-writing and we're going to draft. We're going to write our story. This is the fun part. We get to actually take all of our ideas and make them into something. That's pretty awesome. In the following video, the last part, we're going to edit our stories and we're going to share our stories, which is publishing. So here is the writing process paper again. So the last time we did the pre-writing, do you remember another word for that? Brainstorming. We did our thinking, and you should be done with that before you move on. And now we're going to take our thinking, all of our ideas, and we're going to write it down. We're going to work on writing our stories. So there's a few things that you want to think about while doing this. You want to think about organizing your story, your thoughts. So what is your beginning, middle, and end? You want to take the ideas in your pre-writing and decide which ones you want to actually use. You can use all of them. You don't have to use all of them. If you decided that your story's not going to work that way, that's perfectly okay. You don't have to use everything that you came up with. And you want to take your conflicts, your events that you came up with, and decide how are they going to go? What's going to happen first and second and third? That's all in the writing process. This is probably one of the more time-consuming parts, so this video is not going to be super long like the first one because you're going to do a lot of writing. So there's a few things you need. You need some lined paper. I would say you need at least 3 or 4 sheets. It will vary on how long your paper is, your story is, but some lined paper. You need a pencil or something to write with. You want that parts of speech chart that was included in the email. You do not have to print that out. You can just look on the screen. That's perfectly okay. And you need some patience this time, and of course, creativity. And you all bring that, I know. So go ahead and pause this video and go get those things so we can get started, and unpause when you're ready. Okay, before you start writing your first draft, I'm going to give you some tips. The first thing you need to do is you need to review all of that pre-writing you did. Go through, read what you wrote, get your ideas in your head, remind yourself what your creative thoughts were, and pick and choose what you want to use. The second thing is a tip that most writers actually use. You want to set a timer and write. Sometimes one of the hardest things any writer has to experience is writing. This is the actual rough draft is kind of sometimes the hardest part. So giving yourself a little bit of time pressure will help. I suggest 20 minutes, but it doesn't have to be that long. If you can write less than that, that's okay. And you can also write longer than that. That is okay. You can set a timer on a phone, on your microwave, ask your parents to be your timer, so anything like that. You also want to try to find a spot that doesn't have any distractions. I know that's hard when we're all stuck at home with our families, but you want to try to find some space that's just yours and away from anything that would distract you. And some people have different distractions. So, like, I can listen to music while I'm working, but the TV can't be on because then I want to go watch TV. And being around my family, it's hard for me because I want to talk to all of them. So find a place that's perfect for you before you start writing. Don't worry about spelling and grammar. This is a rough draft. It doesn't matter how things are spelled. It doesn't matter if you have capital letters. The idea is to get all of your story out. We're not worried about how perfect our stories look. That's okay. We're just moving forward. Kind of to go along with that is don't worry about erasing mistakes. So if you misspell something and you can't read it or you don't like your sentence, don't waste time erasing it. Just cross it out, and that will save you a lot of time. I know that's hard for some people, so if you really can't do that, that's okay. But I've learned from experience that just crossing out things you don't like and moving forward is the fastest and easiest way to go on. It doesn't have to look beautiful. The idea is to get all of your story out of your head so it doesn't bother you anymore. Okay, so it's time to write our rough drafts. I'm going to share a little bit of my rough draft with you. And remember, we're not looking at spelling, we're not looking at how beautiful our words are, or we're not looking at punctuation. We're just getting those ideas out of our head. So I'm going to read a little bit to you. So I titled it The Birthday Surprise. And let's get started. Mel could hear the clacking of her mom's keyboard. Click, clack, click, clack. She looked down at her science workbook. There were 10 questions and they were all empty. Mom, she shouted, I can't concentrate. The clacking stopped and Mel looked across the table at her mother. Well, I'm working, Melanie, Mom said. I'm working too, Mel said back. Go sit on the couch if I'm too loud. Mom pointed too. All right, so as you can see, this is not the whole story. That's okay. I'm not going to share the whole story with you. And I can already see some misspellings and some things that need to be fixed, but that's kind of what I'm doing is revising when you read aloud. So what I want you to do next is you need to pause the video and go write your rough draft. You're going to write for 20 minutes, set your timer, or however long you decide, and go write your rough draft. It's however long it takes you. And remember, we're not looking for perfect. Remember, just get your ideas out of your head. Once you are done with your rough draft, take a break, get a snack, whatever you want to do, and then come back to this video, and then we're going to do some revising. All right, your rough draft is complete. So we've done our pre-writing, and you've done your drafting. It's time to revise. So revising is thinking about our writing, reading it over, and thinking about how we can make it better. It is very similar to editing. Editing is the actual doing. Revising is the thinking part of it. A lot of times it's hard to do one without doing the other, and so if that happens to you, that's completely okay. But for the rest of this video, we're going to review our works, our rough drafts, and we're going to do some thinking about how they can be better. All right, so there's a few questions you want to ask yourself. The very most important thing you need to do is read your story aloud to yourself, probably more than once. It is the easiest way to catch things that don't make sense, to catch spelling errors. If you can't read your own sentence, then you need to rewrite it. If you can't understand what you're writing, you know it needs some improvement. So here are the things that you're going to ask yourself. Does my story make sense? This is the most important part. If your story doesn't make any sense, then your reader can't read it. They don't want to read it. So does your story make sense? Does it have that beginning, middle, and end going in? Does it have a beginning, middle, and end? So your conflict, does something happen? Does your character get a new puppy and they have to train it and then it learns a trick? Having a beginning, the middle, and end is what makes your story interesting. Is your story too long or too short? So that'll be up to you to decide. You can always get some opinions of your family members or me. Sometimes if you have too many details, it's gets too tedious to read as a reader. And sometimes if it's too short, you're missing part of your story. You're missing the beginning, middle, and end. So reread it to yourself and decide, is it perfect? Is it too long? Is it too short? Do I need to add stuff or take things out? Is my conflict solved? So if your story, so like my story is that Mel is sad about not having a birthday party, if there's no ending, if she doesn't get her birthday party or doesn't resolve her feelings, then it's not satisfying to read. It's very frustrating. So is whatever your conflict is in your story, whether it's getting braces and being accepted by that, training your puppy, winning a soccer game, whatever it is your conflict solved? The other thing we want to do when revising our stories is we want to think about how are our descriptions of things. So to describe something, it's to talk about how it looks, how it smells, how it sounds, feels, or tastes like. And descriptions provide the reader, whoever your reader is, the ability to close their eyes and imagine what's actually happening. So do they know what your character looks like? Do they understand what your setting looks like? Those are, or sounds like, or smells like. And we want to make sure that we use descriptive words. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the parts of speech. We use the different parts of speech to make wonderful descriptions in our stories and our writing. You may or may not be familiar with these, things like nouns and verbs and adverbs, but this chart was included in your program email so that you have a reference point. So we're not going to focus on every single part of these. We're just going to focus on some different ones that help when we write to make wonderful descriptions so that our readers can really imagine what's going on in our story. So the first thing we're going to focus on is a verb. Do you know what a verb is? You can read the description. A verb is an action or a state of being. So it's the things that are actually happening to your character. What are they doing? Do they run someplace? Are they laughing? Are they screaming? Are they jumping? A verb is also am, are, was, and is. So what is your character doing? The next thing we're going to look at is an adverb. An adverb tells how, when, where, or to what extent. So it's another descriptive word. And so here are some examples. Perfectly, scarily, shortly, now, yesterday, soon, completely, angrily. So you're using these words with your verbs and your nouns to create a description. So, for example, Mel ran angrily down the steps. So those tell you that she's not like walking, she's probably making a lot of noise, she has heavy footsteps, and kind of how she's feeling. All right, so let's look at adjective. An adjective describes a noun or a pronoun. It says how many, what kind, or which one. So here are some examples. Happy, scared, more, sick, 3, this, that, blue, sharp. So for example, we might say, Mel's face turned red. She took a deep breath and yelled at her mom. So what does that sentence tell you? Is she happy? No, she took a deep breath and her face turned red. Red is angry. And she yelled. So yell is not a soft talking, it's screaming. So those are the different ways that you want to use these parts of speech. So when you're revising or editing in the future, your rough draft, take a look at what these different things can do as you add those words into your sentences. If you don't have a lot of experience using these different types of words, I would suggest playing around with Mad Libs. Mad Libs are, if you've never used them, are kind of stories with blank parts, and it'll tell you to put in a noun or a verb or an adjective. And when the story is done, you read it and it makes a silly story because you didn't really know what the rest of the story was what was going on. I included a link for some Mad Libs that you can do online or you can print out. They're super fun. So again, as you're reading through your rough drafts, what words, what verbs or adjectives or adverbs could you add into your sentences to make them more descriptive? We want our readers to be able to really imagine what's going on. So if your character is sitting in a chair, what's the color of the chair? So that's your adjective. Is it a green cushion? Is it a blue spots? So think about those things. Alright, so for the rest of this video, it's almost over. You want to finish revising your rough draft. So read it through several times, read it out loud, think about those different things that we talked about. Does your story have a beginning, middle, and end? Does it make sense? And then in the next video, we're going to actually do some editing. So we're going to get out and we're going to fix our spelling, we're going to fix our capitalizations, we're going to put periods on our sentences, and we're going to make it look beautiful. And then we're going to publish. And publish means you can rewrite it or you can just share it. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. Alright, this is the end of video 2. You should be revising your rough drafts, and if you have questions, feel free to email me. I would also suggest sharing your rough drafts with somebody in your family. You could also send them to me if you want. You can take a picture, you can just read them, and I'll give you some thoughts and send them to me in an email. That is completely up to you. And then when you're ready to move on to video 3, however long that may be, go ahead and click video 3. Thanks for listening.